Good morning, beloved. What's up, familia? It's your Puerto Rican Brooklyn Philly here. Back with another message, and without further ado, I'm just going to jump right in. I've already prayed. I've already cleansed, and in reflection, this morning, I was reminded of having an attitude of gratitude, right? And how that helps with setting the tone, right? I wanted to say for the day, but then I'm hearing at any point, right? Because it could be 12 midnight and you're up right now watching this, and so it's always the perfect time to, you know, begin to contemplate and, if at minimum, briefly reflect on what we, or what you should be grateful or are grateful for, right? Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Also, yesterday in my neighborhood, oh, sorry about that, guys, but yesterday in my neighborhood we had a real intense fire. I mean, a factory or an abandoned building, they indicated, went up in smoke about, in flames, excuse me, it's up. I mean, interesting. I'm fumbling over my words. I feel a little disoriented. Not sure what's that about. But so maybe someone is feeling that, trying to, I heard, ground yourself, right? Maybe struggling a little bit with that. And maybe that was the reasoning for bringing up like an attitude of gratitude to help. I'm hearing regulate, right? But about 5 in the morning or 4:30 or 5, mad sirens, and you hear the first siren go by, and you're like, okay. I tend to pray, and say, well, whatever's going on, please assist them. But then it was siren after siren, and I'm like, well, what's going on? Because I'm going to be honest, within the last week, I've been hearing just mad sirens, whether they're ambulance, fire engines, police officer, like, and it's just been, so I'm like, at this point, after hearing multiple sirens, I'm like, are you trying to tell me something, Lord? Is this a sign? Right? And then I finally just looked out my window, and it looked like a California. I'm blessed, those over in California that struggle with these, fires, but it was just, the whole background was just a blaze. It was just amazingly fierce. I almost want to say beautiful and in awe, but it's such a tragedy, right? It was, thankfully, no one was hurt. It was an abandoned building, but I guess there were cars, so there was, mad fire. And as the sun was just rising, so you get to see this ball of fire in the sky with these flames of fire under it. It was intense. I mean, and they had to fight that fire for several hours. Our electricity went out. Why am I sharing all this? I don't know. There's something there. But this morning, as I sit in this corner, usually I sit here and I look out my window. I open up the windows to get the fresh air, to calm myself, to reflect. And I get to watch the sunrise. But all, I have a view of this morning is smoke, right? And it's still all of this smoke rising, although this fire was yesterday, 5:30 in the morning. The whole neighborhood, yesterday was just the smell. But and I don't know, I kept hearing it's like saging. Interestingly enough, although it didn't smell like sage, I love the smell of sage, but And, you know, at some point it became a little irritating, that smell. But it was this morning, I'm going to leave that alone. When I saw that, I thought of smoke. I left it up. Let's see. The phrase, because I heard smoke rising from the ashes. And then the phrase rising from the ashes is an idiom that means to emerge from something that has been destroyed as if new. It is often used to describe a situation where someone has made a comeback. Hey, sorry. Mad Ups to Core, KUR, rapper. We love you. One of his first singles that my son introduced me to was "It's All About the Comeback." I suggest you check it out. He's a little more famous right now, particularly in our city, part of town, for Peach Snapple. And get out your feelings, little bro. We love him. Well, I love him. You know, I'm an OG that love that young boy, yes. And I mean, no disrespect, that's a grown man, but, you know, to me, I'm saying, you know. But, it is often used to describe a situation when someone has made a comeback or emerged stronger after a catastrophe. Interesting. The phrase alludes to the phoenix, a mythical bird from Greek mythology that is said to rise from the ashes of its own funeral pyre with renewed youth. The phoenix is a symbol of hope, renewal, and regeneration, and is born from the knowledge and experience of difficult times. Interesting. I'm going to read this last one. In Chinese mythology, it may play a role in this reading. The phoenix is also referenced in the idiom bathed in flames. Oh, okay, wait. I was about to say that's Gilly the Kid, but that isn't. That's no disrespect. Oh, what? How can I forget? Oh, I just got tingles through all right here. Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot him. His name, like, love him, grew up on him. Okay, I'll leave it alone now. According to the legend, the phoenix is reborn every 500 years after being bathed in fire. Interesting. Almost makes me want to ask. Anyway, leave it alone. Nevertheless, the messages leading up to this week, even up to today, have been very powerful. And even just yesterday, the message really did touch on, once again, this. I touched yesterday on the Piscean full moon and how it is ushering in this forward movement, this transformation, this regeneration, right? This opportunity for that, right? For closing out old cycles, for letting go of control and things that no longer serve us, right? Whether it's people, places, spaces, right? I just heard of Narcotics Anonymous or Alcoholics Anonymous. That's for someone, you know, where they tell you, you know, first thing you need to do is leave people, places, and things alone, right? Just got chills. But there is this beauty, right? I just mentioned that in that fire about, or that comes from coming back stronger, right? Particularly from an event that most, and sometimes even yourself, believes that was it, you know, that it's over for this person, right? It's done, finito, you know, there's no way they could come back from this, right? The whole world is burnt down. And to see someone emerge from such a catastrophe, right? I don't know. I just heard that's the American dream or ideology, right? I mean, I don't know. I mean, we see that in movies all the time, right? I mean, and I don't know. There is this rally call, this cry that we, I mean, particularly here in the West, based on our media, right? Particularly our movies, where we rally for the underdog, where we, you know, I just heard the hero's journey, right? Joseph Campbell. I just heard Carl Jung, the psychologist, right? You know, with his archetypes, where we just really want to see this individual, the protagonist, make it, right? And defeat the antagonist, you know, the villain, the hero. Interesting. Um, but yes, I'm being compelled to say it's a beautiful thing because it offers so much hope to those who saw the story, right? Saw your story, saw what you went through, and saw that you made it out. But also to yourself because you're just like, whoa, you know, it empowers you on such a level that, you know, yeah, that it even surprises, I think, the person in it sometimes, right? Um, and I'm hearing it serves as a backdrop for the next, you know, let's say catastrophe. And I'm hesitating because I don't want to say that, right? Because I'm not trying to call that into my life or in the lives of others, but it wouldn't be realistic to think or to believe that I'm not going to go through something again, right? That I'm not going to experience trials and tribulations, right? That's this thing called life, and life be life, and that's what it's, you know, entails, whether we like it or not, whether you're rich or poor, whether you're black or white, it entails ebb and flow. You know, you have the sun and the rain, you know. Again, I'm thinking of Solomon, the Proverbs of Solomon. Uh, but yeah, that's the flow. Or and then I was this morning guided to start with these oracle cards. I think they're pretty dope. I forget the name of them. I do apologize. Um, so let's see which oracle card wants to set the tone. I'm hearing the tone has been set already, right? Though, but for this reading, and it has to be a pretty quick one because I had things to do, places to go, people to see. I don't know why I said it like that. My grandbaby has her first little cheerleading event this morning. She's 5, and she's a Sag. Abuela's a Leo, so yeah, I have to get ready for that. And the card to pop out is, sorry guys. Hold this right. Make sure the camera focuses. Repetition. I just heard the circle of life. The circle, the circle of life. Yeah, I'm seeing that scene in Lion King when it first opens up and everyone is coming to see Simba's coronation, I just heard. Interesting. Right? And Rafiki holds him up. And all of the animals of the Sahara, I want to say African Sahara, kneel and bow down in acknowledgement. Interesting why I'm thinking that. I'm looking at now the moon phases here, right? We have this crescent. We are currently in this waxing moon phase, right? About to enter this our full moon here. The full moon in Pisces, a lunar eclipse. Interesting. So repetition. I don't know. I just heard for some of you, just that quick lost it. Yeah. What was that about? I don't know, because I think two more just fell out. Let's see what it is before I see them. I almost heard like you're about to repeat a cycle. But then that didn't sound right because it was like, no, we're cleansing away. Um, we're letting go, right? But maybe you're about to be confronted with a cycle that has been repetitive in your life. Interesting. Maybe that's what it is. The siren. I promise you, there's a message there, and maybe it's just personal for me. I don't know. But wallahi deen, I have been hearing sirens repetitively. It's almost like, you know how when we say synchronicities, I just heard synchronicities. I don't know, somebody maybe wants to say it like that. But how we say we keep seeing like numbers like 1111, 333 or whatever. You keep seeing the same billboard. You keep waking up at the same time. It almost feels surreal that way with the sirens. And I don't know what that's about. Because the only thing I tend to think of sometimes with the sirens is that song by Beyonce, Ring the Alarm. I'll be damned if I see another chick on your arm. And it's like, where's that coming from? I'm not feeling that way. You know what I mean? Like, I just heard some type of way. Some type of way got me feeling some type of way. It's a whole nother rap song. Okay. So yeah, repetition, cycles, pay attention to them. Particularly maybe pay attention to the moon phases. I just spoke of how we're moving into the full moon. Again, I heard the circle of life, so maybe there is something to acknowledging that, you know. Yeah, maybe that's also too. We talked about this as a period of transformation, but right, life, death, and rebirth. I'm seeing now the figure eight, the infinity symbol, right? And now we have, what is this? Time. Something about time in every message this week, timing, whether it was speaking of, time as being a non-motherfucking factor. Okay, somebody wanted to go there. Sorry, that instrumental. It was beautiful. I don't know, it caught my attention. But or uh the perfect timing, particularly when it had to do referencing the cosmos, planetary activity, alignment, right? Um, so there's something there. And again, we see this crescent moon. We have this sun. She's holding both. Interesting. We are about to go through, but it's a lunar eclipse. Again, I thought of Solomon's Proverbs. The sun. It's a proverb by Solomon. The rain falls on the just and the, but then there's something about the sun. I don't know. Again, so now I'm thinking repetition and cycles, right? It's almost, I'm hearing, as sure as the morning rises with the sun and the night sets with the moon, right? That they both, kind of like the movement of her hands, right? They both. And then we have renewal. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, that we continually have repetitive cycles, right? I talked about death, life, and rebirth, right? Of alignments, of perfect timing or non-MF timing, right? Of renewal. Yeah, interesting. And now the circle of life. I don't know what's up with that, y'all. I'm not trying to be annoying. I just heard somebody say that's annoying. That's not my intention. I don't know. I just noticed. Her eyes are closed here. Her eyes are closed. Oh no, they're not. They look closed. She's just. I don't know. You're not gonna believe the song that just started playing here. For me, it just like I can tell you how I feel about you night and day. How I feel about you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's something about the circle of life, repetitive cycles, right? Animals, all I mean, like there's this ebb and flow, night and day, time after time. And it'll spirit is the bomb, trust me.com. I'm sure by age, right? It'll come out clearer and clearer as we move into the messages. I'm interested in seeing here what the She Tarot has to reveal to us this morning. And I feel very slow. Interesting. I just said I have to get ready. This got to be a little. And we're already 22 minutes in. And I don't know. I just heard slow down. Slow down. It's an old rap, right? There's time. I'm hearing time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I will be waiting. I don't know why Spirit has me with all these songs. Look what I just said. Cooperation. Let's have that beautiful sunflower. Just heard Oshun again on the show. I don't know. Look, heartbreak is over. This cooperation after this heartbreak, right? This rising from the ashes after this catastrophe, right? Interesting. But what I was saying is, I apologize to y'all in advance because my throat wanted to. Because I get it. I know I can't sing. I know there's some like YouTubers who come in here and whoo, they can bellow out some tunes while they doing tarot. Give me chills and everything. I'm like, okay, ma. Okay, pa. But I said the kid, not I, right? But yet these songs, music is in. There's like 5 words that wanted to come out just now about music. Look at this. Oh, interesting. Fear and self-confidence. What dropped that wanted to show? Interesting. Wisdom keeper. Interesting. It's almost like, right? It was fear versus self-confidence, and then the fear just dropped and it said, no. You know, we're moving into this wisdom keeper. This self-confidence that you are this wisdom keeper, no longer living in this fear. Beautiful. Right. This is just from shuffling. Uno más, por favor. Yes, I'm still hearing that Cyndi Lauper song in my head. If you fall, I will catch you. Time after time, right? Time after time. If you fall, like it's a reference, like a repetitive cycle, right? She's saying, no matter how many times, I will catch you. So, are you in some repetitive cycle with someone where you keep going through it time after time? But I don't know. I'm not getting something negative necessarily from it. Um, it's almost like each time I'm hearing you go through the cycle, it renews you, right? Kind of like the phoenix rising from the ashes. It is a sense of this renewal that occurs. And I'm hearing to tell somebody, I get it. Maybe for some of you, you're kind of like frustrated with going through that cycle or what it feels like to be this repetitive cycle. But I just heard it's not in vain. There is a renewal. You are learning lessons from it. And I get it. Some of us are more stubborn than trust me. I'm one, right? I'm one of them. I had to, woosah on that because it can be very frustrating, right? One of the things that I, you know, um, started crying out about is the realization that I found myself in similar situations, whether it was with a different, environment, different career, different lover, whatever, but feeling the same or feeling like I'm in a similar situation and saying, I don't want this ish no more. I don't want to be here again, right? But then in retrospect, when I look at it, each time I wasn't in the same exact place. It was similar. Of course, it had similar tones, but there was growth, there was movement, there was differences, right? There were differences. So I'm being told to tell somebody that, right? It's something about the bottom of the card deck. Look at this. Determination, right? Yeah. This sense of determination to um, get back up again, get back up again, get back up again, get back up again. It's a gospel song. Get back up again. Oh my God, how can I forget that gospel song? But that gospel song is talking about, you'll fall, get back up. And that Cyndi Lauper is saying, when you fall, I will catch you, right? The fall, right, of that building, the fall of a catastrophe, the fall of the tower, the fall, right? The comeback core, rising from the ashes is about a comeback after a fall, right? The hero's journey, right? And almost all of the plots, after Rocky got lumped up in that round, or after the hero seems to be defeated and annihilated somehow by the villain, and then all of a sudden, right? Or is my beautiful Puerto Rican accented non-English speaking, all of a sudden sing. Love it. uh, they come back, right? Interesting. But it's the spirit of determination, right? Of no give up, right? I'm not giving up. I'm getting back up again. Get back up again. Back up again. Why can't I think of... I gotta go, spirit. Reset. Get back up again. Get back up again. Get back up again. Too many that I'm gonna... take this one. Look at that. Overload. And that looks like a big, I don't know, I just heard kryptonite, big fiery ball, right? I mean, this person's back is strong, but that's a big load. Right? Overload. They're saying keep it. These four came out. Fear. Wisdom keeper. Support. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, so I shuffled. I don't know what to say. And these cards wanted to show themselves up again. So yeah, there's something. I don't. I feel like I'm moving so slow. But okay. Maybe this is okay. I hear you, spirit. So I'm hearing we will experience what can feel at times these massive loads, right? Some put upon us, some self-inflicted, some a little both, but nevertheless, there are points in our lives where we'll reach or feel like we're carrying too much. Now I'm hearing, bag lady, you gonna hurt your back, carrying all those bags like that, right? Erykah Badu, right? She's talking about putting down all of those burdens, carrying, right? So yeah, maybe repetitive cycles or into this next cycle, or maybe that's what these cycles, I'm getting so much. So for some, it's repetitive cycles that you keep carrying baggage over to. We need to stop it. This time right here, this full moon in Pisces is coming in. This is an opportunity to let go. For some, um, uh, you get to this overload and this is what helps you, right? Say enough, you know what I'm saying? I'm not doing this shit again, and helps you, begin a new cycle. For some, it was like three different scenarios, but yeah, there's something about, and I'm hearing for most of us, right? Most of humanity, we wait till it gets to this overload point, to this tipping point, in order to kind of like let it go, right? Now I'm hearing that song from Frozen, let it go, let it go. And in that song, she says, I'm not gonna, you know, and she's saying, I don't care, right? I'm not gonna be, no longer be the good girl you want me to be, right? You know what I'm saying? So there's something about, right? And again, that's what I'm saying. Some of it's self-inflicted, but some of it's inflicted by society, the norms, the pressure of trying to do, whatever, all, you know what I mean? But again, there's something about in each cycle, every time you're learning, you're growing, you know what I mean? Also to acknowledge that, not to beat yourself up and think, it's hopeless. No, stay determined. And what I hear there is that the reason why we get to this overload, or one of the roots of getting to this overload of exhaustion, or this point where it's almost breaking our back, it is fear, right? Fear of maybe letting go or releasing early, right? Whether it's in a partnership I'm hearing you say this, so you may be in a partnership where you need to let it go, but you're fearful to let it go, right? For fear that you think you might not find someone else, fear that of starting all over, right? And I'm hearing then the opposite could be true, right? Maybe you in this situation and it feels like this, but maybe it feels like this because you're holding on to a whole bunch of other baggage that now you're projecting and carrying into this new one, which is causing this fear. And it's telling you be determined, right? And like Cyndi Lauper song, time after time, if you fall, I will catch you, right? That with each cycle, something new and refreshing, or now if it's some toxic shit, I'm not supporting that, I'm not acknowledging that, I'm not saying that. You have to make that discernment. If somebody's being abusive, yeah, don't trigger warning, I don't want to, but yeah, we have to, I'm not talking about that, but yeah, so fear plays a major role, whether it's internal fear, fear mongering from society, a mixture of all of it, right? Then I'm hearing you're wiser now, right? You're wiser now. as a result of going through these patterns, these cycles, this repetitive cycles each time, right? You renewed, you it made you wiser, right? To the point now, oh look at that full moon. You've become this wisdom keeper. Hey, I'm feeling it. You've become this wisdom keeper, yes. Right? So I'm almost hearing like trust yourself, right? That although I get it, because I get it. I know that frustration of feeling like I'm here again, or why didn't this work out, or why is this, you know what I mean? But no, each cycle, each time you learned something, you grew a little more, you stayed determined, and now you're wiser than the last one. Even when I look at like employment situations with like different supervisors that I've had in relationships, I notice that my behavior, the way I perceived it, the way I handled the situations did shift as a result of the previous one. So there is this wisdom that you gain. One of the things that from a previous relationship, I remember saying, it taught me, you know, the phrase "f boy" was like a new phrase to me. I'm an OG, so you know what I'm saying. It's like, but uh, I learned about or I declared at that time that I'm not attracting that anymore. And I had to learn that the reason what were the roots of why I was attracting that. Interestingly enough, fear was at the, and overload, baggage, past baggage, right? That I kept. Um, but I learned and I said, and now it's just interesting because instead of attracting that type of spirit, I repel it. They can tell. Not that one. Whereas before, I felt like I was like a sheep and they were like wolves and they could smell me a mile away, right? Because I've learned. You learn. You are doing it differently. Somebody needs to hear that. And then this last one, support. Yeah. And what I'm hearing with that is, right, at first I'm hearing you are supported. You have been supported through each cycle. And it's almost now because of like her gray hair and the koala bear laying on her here. I'm assuming it's a her. It doesn't matter about. But because of that, now you're able to give support. You're this wisdom keeper. I'm smiling. Oh, right? That they're now, right? And there's these grays, right? Matching my gray fly. There's right, and I'm I'm being funny, but it's interesting how we tend to associate gray hair with wisdom, right? Whether it's a gray long beard from a male or like the gray hair on top of the head. Not to say that that's always the case, but just generally, we would associate that with wisdom because we're saying this person has age, and as a result of age in and of itself, they've been through some things, so they've acquired some knowledge, some experience, right? Hopefully. But there is, I'm smiling because yesterday I was going through my videos and I found a video about 4 years ago of me just speaking on wanting to do something like this, like turn on the YouTube camera and begin to record, and how 4 years ago I was terrified due to fear and overload of past baggage and bullshit, thinking of every reason why I wouldn't be able to or couldn't, at that time. I heard, it was like a 7 minute clip where I was saying, I would really like to do this. This is my goal. I'm trying to. And, one was because of integrity and character. I really never want to. And at that point, I felt like there was some things I needed to sort out before I got on any place or space to and give messages to anybody, right? Which that was also part of that, right? The deception of that now as I look back, and I'm very keenly aware of that. Um, but I smiled when I, encountered that video and listened to it because I'm like, dear God, I'm here, right? Back then, I was so concerned about, well, how am I going to look on the camera? People going to think I'm crazy. There's tarot. You know, here I am. I went to seminary. I preached in Africa. I was a part of the church, then Islam. They gonna see me as some witch. You know, this is the devil's work. Like all kinds of stuff that I had to battle and filter through, and you know, to get here, right? To the point where I'm here. Yep, you see it all. My little jelly rolls, my teeth, my hair, the grays, my bags, everything, right? And it's so much bigger than that, right? In my mind and in my heart. One is it's my calling, I believe. It's my passion, it's what I want to do, it's what makes me smile to think that I can make someone else smile. You know, on so many levels, like I feel like I'm helping, I feel like I'm contributing. So anyway, I don't want to make it, but even in the last 4 years, and not just the 4 years, throughout, I can think of all of the support that I've received. Um, uh, uh, I want to say from my ancestors, my spirit guides, and divinity, and then, you know, loved ones, family, mentors, right? Um, and the support that I've given, and, you know, to get here, you know, to get through some of those cycles, to be able to rise from the ashes like that, you know, like the phoenix, to be able to, you know, do that comeback, right? And most of those hero stories, you know, whether it is, you know, the Rockies or whatever, you know, Rocky had Adrian, you know. I mean, it's just always some type of support, some type of, uh, yeah, support. I'm gonna leave it at that. That is infused within the story, you know, whether it's through a message, a bug. I'm here, right? Because I'm thinking of like cartoons now and all of that. Um, so not only have you received the support, but you are always also now at a place to be able to provide support, right? To give support to others, right? And people need it. People need you, I'm hearing. You know, so maybe I said that whole thing about YouTube because there's someone out there who wants to start a YouTube channel, or maybe any other type of platform, or endeavor on some type of career, or a relationship, right? Or maybe even get an old relationship, or, you know, old in the sense that you've been there with this person, another try, right? Or not, right? Whatever it may be, you know, take it how it resonates. This is talking to so many different people, but um, it's saying, you know, yeah, I just like, give him a chance, honey, right? From Coming to America when she's on the train. Um, give it a chance, right? Whether it's that relocation, that new job, the entrepreneurship, the relationship, yourself, baby, because ultimately it is you, right? You're doing it ultimately for you. The beauty of that, that is that in doing it for you, it can then permeate and from you. Now I'm hearing like Care Bear power, right? When the Care Bear stare, and they would, it can also bless others, right? And I'm hearing that's it. I don't feel compelled to pull anything else but some affirmations to end, because I really do have to get ready, you know, and be responsible, right? Um, and it's only because I was asked to be the designated driver. If I was just coming aboard, then, you know, if I could be a couple minutes late, there wouldn't be a problem, because, you know, by the time I get there, they're probably still setting up and getting ready. But no, I have to be the designated driver, so I have to make sure my little munchkin gets there on time. So let's get Alhamdulillah. wanted to, Spirit knows I like it in threes. Words of affirmation to close this reading out. And I got 2. And there goes the 3. So the first one is I'm sorry, I'm cheesy, y'all. Yes, I'm so corny. Hakuna Moscato. Now, what's funny about that is you remember, if you recall, I kept thinking of the circle of life from Lion King, and one of the first things, and here goes my lion. He's my lion. This is my fur ball. This is BK, y'all. He likes to get in all the videos. I don't know, now I see him as like little Simba, the trees in the background of my house over there being the Serengeti. Oh God. But Hakuna Moscato, how beautiful is that? Then, shakalaka. I'm gonna show my age here again. From the era of watching What's Happening with Roger and Rerun and Dwayne. And I'm remembering the episode where he, Rerun went to go worship the lettuce. Right. Interesting. I just heard no Roger, no Rerun, no rent. Right. And that's an episode about supporting one another, right? About how the whole building came out and supported them, right? Interesting. And then this one is, what is this? Excuse you. Take a hint from a sloth. Oh wow. Remember I kept saying I feel like slow motion. Yesterday in my video too, I said I feel like a sloth. Or was it yesterday or the day before, right? But something about, yeah, slow down. There's time, right? I said time is a non-effing factor, right? Wow. And then this one wanted to kind of creep out. What is this one? He won't let me. I'm sorry, guys. This one says, the truth will set you free, but first it will piss you off. Interesting. So I don't know if that was really, it just like creeped on the side. So maybe that's for someone, right? So maybe that's part of the rising from the ashes, right? That's part of the fall, right? Or maybe that's how it starts, right? Yeah, right. Because it's like I'm hearing, sometimes it's not as, you know, as an actual fire, right? That begins, maybe the fire blazes within one of us, you know, within us in terms of like our emotional sphere and our brain, right? Where that's where the fire occurs. That's where the burning away of this old ideology and this old stuff, you know, begins. And yeah, it starts off with a truth that maybe initially pisses you the hell off, right? But it eventually sets you free. Spirit ain't no joke. Right? And that's all, folks, right? That's what I'm hearing. Believe. I'm so cool. Yes, I'm showing my age and my cheesiness. I'm gonna keep being corny, right? That's like an old back in the day word. Anyhow, I love you to pieces. I'm grateful for you. I'm definitely grateful to divinity, to my ancestors, my spirit guides for the beautiful messages. I'm grateful to this beautiful fluffy duffy Popioma, right, in my life. Yeah, we started off saying something about the attitude. Come here, big boy. Just come here. This attitude of gratitude. And yeah, we're ending it with that, right? Even being grateful for fluffy people like this, right? Our furry friends. But yeah, I hope this message resonates. I hope it helps and it encourages you to rise from the ashes like the phoenix, to set forth and pursue your ultimate dreams and desires, understanding that you will be supported, you have been supported, and so much so that you'll be able to support others as well. Again, as I always say, if you enjoy the reading and you got something out of it, hit the like button. It's reciprocity, it's equal exchange of energy. If you think this message will help somebody, share it. And if you like the way the spirit flows over here, subscribe. And until next time, beloved, I love you to pieces. Mwah. Amen, Ashe, and Amen.